welcome to our series on spiritual power, being Shakti. Today we're looking at the power to face, and the power to face means many things. It requires us to go to the depth of our strength and gather up our forces to deal with what is coming to challenge us. Usually people think about the power to face in terms of facing loss, facing death, whether it is your own death or whether it is the death of someone who is very near and dear to you. Whether this death is about to happen or it has just happened. It takes a lot of strength to deal with it because we have attachment to our own bodies. We have attachment to the people who are near and dear to us, and we are dependent on their being there. We are also dependent on our sense of identity in terms of our own physical form. And so death, finality, leaving, lets you feel abandoned. You have to take care of yourself in areas where you had depended on another to take care of you, or to be there for you, or to be part of your social environment that gave you your strength and your sense of who you are. What is probably very difficult is when this happens suddenly and unexpectedly. And one thing we know for sure at the present time is there are many things that happen to us suddenly and unexpectedly. We would like to be in control of our environment. We would like to be able to predict everything that happens. It makes us feel secure, and the sense of continuity is important for our sense of self. But yet, suddenly and unexpectedly, things happen. It affects us emotionally. It affects us in terms of our stability, our sense of everything being manageable, and suddenly will catapult us into a state of being where we do not have all of our faculties available for us in the way that we normally do. We may be overwhelmed with emotion, or on the other hand, we may be frozen because the impact is so strong that we just freeze down. The power to face is also very important in terms of opposition. And there are many people who may be jealous of you, who may wish to take you down for one reason or another. You may feel that you are doing everything in a very good way. You are collaborative and cooperative with others. Whatever your talents are, you make them available, you share them, and yet sometimes people are jealous and they want to take you down, they want to harm you. For this, we need the power to face, but we also need the power of discernment, because someone who is jealous, someone who opposes you, will behave with you in a very good and friendly and correct manner, but behind that facade something else is going on. So you need to be able to discern it and recognize that they have a negative intention towards you. So you need to be able to handle it and face it and deal with it, face it down, challenge it when it comes your way, and let it not be something that paralyzes you or takes you down or surprises you or deceives you. We need to have our wits about us in the world as it is at this time. It is not realistic for us to be idealistic either about the way the world is or the way people are or the way situations are. And if we want to be successful in this world, we need to be able to face whatever comes down the road to us. Another area where you need the power to face is when someone abandons you or leaves you, or whatever support you were expecting is all of a sudden taken away from you. Someone who you may be depending on as a partner in your business or a life partner will all of a sudden announce to you that they are going another way. They may be leaving you for another person or leaving their partnership with you for another career, another activity. It even happens to parents when their children finish their school and university and they leave. And then there is the empty nest syndrome where the elder parents all of a sudden are by themselves. And of course, they may look for grandchildren to fill that gap, but it does happen that the children will leave and they may go to another country. You may not see them. All the things that you were relying on them for are all of a sudden not there, and you have to deal with that. One aspect is facing it, and the other aspect is moving on and making your life according to new and different situations. Another area where facing is really important is where there is sudden massive financial loss. The world we're living in at this present time is one of uncertainty and insecurity. All of a sudden, you may receive information that you are no longer required at your job. The business is not able to function in the current economic climate, and you have money only for the next brief little while, and after that you don't know. You may have debts, you may have a mortgage, you may have commitments, financial commitments, based on the assumption that everything is going to continue the way it always ever has been, but all of a sudden not. And so you have to face that. And facing it means not getting into a panic about it. Facing it means really realistic. And again, go into your inner strength and gather, consolidate your forces, because the energy that would otherwise go into a negative emotion like anger or panic or rage or righteous indignation, that energy, if it goes in those directions, is lost to you. But that same energy is a very forceful energy. Bring that energy to serve you, to serve your current requirements. It is a great force, like a mighty river, and you need that force in order to face what has just happened or what is happening. Being a yogi doesn't mean being passive and quiet and smiling all the time. That is very nice when things are going well, but when you need to face some strong issues, then you need your strength. And for a meditator, a yogi, The process of meditation over a long period of time involves accumulating this power and learning how to control this power. When this power goes out of control, then it becomes a negative emotion that does a lot of damage. But that power doesn't have to go in that direction when you learn how to control that energy and use it to get something done that requires great force. Sometimes we can even call this the power of determination. And you need this kind of power to deal with unexpected, strong situations. So we need practice to learn how to, in a very rapid, short period of time, gather this power and focus it where it needs to be focused. And for that, of course, we need to have good powers of concentration, and we need to anticipate. There are always signs when something severe is about to happen. And another attribute of the practice of meditation and study of spiritual knowledge is that your instincts, your intuitive powers become much more acute, and you become able to read the signs, and then you can act on those signs so that you do not become overwhelmed. I remember one time, quite a number of years ago, I was in Los Angeles and there was a huge, massive 7-point earthquake. And I remember it happened that we were doing our early morning meditation on that occasion. It was about 4:30 in the morning when the tremblor struck, and it was big. But I felt about a second beforehand, something's going to happen. Got myself ready. I had no idea what it was. And then it struck, but I received it in a state of readiness. And then the other people who were around me, who looked towards me for a signal what to do, because you only have a second to decide. And I told them, stay where you are. This is a safe place. Don't move. And it was indeed a safe place. Other areas in neighboring rooms and just outside fell down. There was a lot of damage, big damage, but where we were, it was fine. This is just an example of how you need to really trust that you will be ready in advance, and that there are signs, and if you are in touch with the signs, you can read those signs, position yourself in a state of readiness, and then everything is able to be managed because you are in a state of self-control. You're controlling your energy, your power. You have a sense that circumstances are with you, not against you. You do not feel overwhelmed, and you're using your power to do exactly the right thing at the right time. You get a kind of heightened awareness, and this heightened awareness enables you to be very competent in those circumstances. So let us take a moment to think about how we would prepare ourselves for this in meditation. It's about concentration. It's about being intuitively awake and aware. And it's also about gathering your available strength and not getting overwhelmed. So take a couple of breaths and let yourself become quiet and still. Feel the soul, the being of light, as a powerful, self. You have great strength. You are a being of power, focused on the self. You feel clear and steady. You draw your attention deep within. You're stable, ready, without tension, yet alert and aware. You let yourself move beyond the physical body. Turn your attention to the supreme power beyond and connect. Be open and let that energy flow into you. Let yourself be combined with that great power. I am in my power, and I am with the great power, the higher power. Whatever strength I need is right there for me. Feel that. You're ready for whatever may come. You sense what will come in advance. You position yourself to meet it head on. You're skilled and agile, confident in your capacity. You will do the right thing, say the right thing at the right time. You are the victorious jewel of light. Feel that energy coursing through you and moving beyond you, filling the atmosphere. This is your terrain to operate in. Practice staying in this stage for a long period of time. Fill yourself with strength. Build capacity. Let yourself gently return back to the everyday state of being, but yet remain in your power, connected, able to face whatever comes. Om Shanti.